Hello everyone, and I'm going to do a quick little overview of Unit 9, and this is for part of the lesson plan for Extend or Elaborate. So basically, what the technology tool that we're going to be using for this unit is PowerPoint. You'll be happy to know that I think it's much easier than Unit 8, which was the Movie Maker. So for this, basically what you're going to do is continue your inspiration document, and you're going to add on another E just like you've been doing in the previous lessons, and this is for elaborate and extend. So what you're going to be doing is just coming up with 5 different questions, and you're going to have open-ended, divergent, or convergent, which are closed-ended questions. A closed-ended question usually means it's a true or false, yes or no, or there's one single answer. The divergent question is a question that provides students to think, and maybe there can be many answers. And I'm going to show you an example in the PowerPoint. So please make sure you read through your guiding questions, what the teacher does, and all in this table here. The first thing you're going to do to actually do your assignment is click on this link and save it to your computer. And basically the Word document is going to look like this. So you're going to fill out the top just like you always do. Okay. Then you need to have at least one convergent and one divergent question. So they can't all be the same type of question. So, for example, question 1. If you ask a true or false question, you write what the question is, and then you give the answer. Okay, and then question 2, if you have a divergent answer, that means it's an open-ended question, so there could be several answers, like maybe give your opinion about something that's going to make the students think. Okay, so then you come up with your 5 questions, and remember that the questions have to be related to your activity. Okay. Okay, and then when you do your lesson plan map, you're going to insert it here. Make sure that you load it onto your ePortfolio. Okay, so after you've written out the questions, you're going to make a PowerPoint. And so I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so you think PowerPoint is pretty easy. There's really not much to it. You make slides and they go from slide to slide. But for this assignment, you have to make what's called a non-linear PowerPoint. Okay, so basically I'm going to open up Paint so I can show you, make a little drawing for you. Okay, so usually when you make slides, so you have here's slide number 1, and then it would go on to the next slide, and it's going on to the next slide, and then it goes on to the next slide. Okay, and this would be what's called linear. Okay, so this is a linear. Sorry, I'm writing with a mouse, so makes it kind of hard. Okay, but we want what's called a non-linear. So non-linear. So basically it's not going to go straight in a line. It's going to have different hyperlinks, and it can go other places. So we have our slide, and I'm going to add a little arrow here. So possibly it could go this way, or it could go this way. It could go to this slide, and then this one could go to another slide, or it can go out to the internet, or it can go somewhere else. Maybe a document. something like that. Okay, so you get the picture, I think. There. So basically we can see this slide can go here, this one can go here, this one could actually go here, my arrow is kind of backwards, and this one could go here, and this one could actually go back up to this one. So if you're totally confused, hopefully my next little demonstration of PowerPoint will clear it up for you. So what I've done is I created a PowerPoint, and basically I just made a little topic about polar bears. So from this slide, I made slide 2. It says polar bears live in the hot tropical climate. Okay, so basically we know that that's not true. So then the students would pick true or false. And then it would take them either to the correct slide or it would take them to the non-correct slide. But either way, you have to make it where maybe they need to go back to the question, or if they get it right, they're going to go to the next question. Okay? So basically, this slide can take you to different places instead of just going from slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And then this last slide, it actually goes out to a web page. So that's not going to another slide, it's going to a web page. So a couple things that will drive you crazy if you don't already know how to do this, or even if you are good with PowerPoint, some of these things that I'm going to show you are really good tips that will help you. So first of all, I want to show you the PowerPoint. Remember that when you want to preview your PowerPoint, you always have to go to slideshow. And then here's this ribbon up here. Remember, these are all your toolbars up here at the top. Okay, so I'm going to press from the beginning here. Okay, so here's my polar bear. So I want to go to the next slide, so I'm going to click. So polar bears live in hot tropical climate. Well, if I just click and I didn't pick the right answer, that's not right because we don't want it to advance. We want to make sure we click on a hyperlink. So the first thing I need to do for this slide is I'm going to go up to transitions, and do you see this area right here where it says advance slide on mouse click? We don't want it to advance on mouse click. We want to tell it where it needs to go based on if you pick true or false. So I'm going to uncheck this box, and again you go into transitions up here, uncheck this on mouse click. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this picture, and then I'm going to go back to home, insert, and then you can go to either hyperlink or you can go to action. So for this example, I'll go to action, and I want it to hyperlink to slide 3 because slide 3 is the correct answer. So I'm going to say okay. Then I'm going to want this guy right here to go to slide 4. So and I'll show you how to do that with the hyperlink. So I go to hyperlink, and this time by default it's going to land on here, link to, but you want to place the link in the document that you're working. So in this case I want it to go to slide 4, so I'm going to go to slide 4 right here and press OK. So let's test that out and see if it works. So I'm going to go back to my first slide. I'm going to go up here to slideshow and go from beginning. Okay, so I want it to advance. Let's test it out. If I click anywhere in here, it should not advance. Good, it's not advancing. I'm clicking, clicking, clicking. But now I want to be able to click on here. Notice that my little cursor, my arrow, it changed to a link when I put my mouse over it. So I want it to go to the slide that says correct. Correct, I have the right answer. Okay, but if I click over here, it advanced to the next slide. So we don't want it to do that. So let's go back and fix this slide. And if you remember, you go up to transitions. We want to uncheck this that says we want it to advance on the mouse click. And now I'm going to pick what do I want it? I'm going to click this arrow and I'm going to go back to Insert and I'm going to go to Action and I want it to go to slide 5, which I've already set it there, so I'm hyperlinking it. Oh, by the way, when you first pick something, it's going to say previous slide, next slide, first slide, last slide, or you can scroll down and you can click on where it says slide, and I know I'm going to want it to go to slide 5. Okay, so I'm going to say okay. So now let's test out my slideshow. So I'm going to go back to beginning, from beginning. And if I pick true, great. Now I'm clicking and great, it's not advancing, so that's good. But now I'm going to go to here and it went to my next slide. Great. And now, okay, so let me escape. Now what happens if we click on the false? So I'm going to go to false. Great, but let's see what happens if I click anywhere. Oh, that's not working. So I need to go to here, transitions, uncheck that, select my hyperlink, and I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to go to Action, and I want this one to go back to slide 2. So I'm going to go to Slide. I want it to go back to slide 2. Okay, and good. Okay, so now let's test out my show. Everything should be working now. So slideshow from beginning. Here's my title. True. Good, I got it right. Click here to go to the next question. Great, here's my next question, which would be Divergent. So now I can go to, it says, go to the following webpage and explore some facts about polar bears. On your paper, write down at least 7 facts that you learned from the website. So I can click here and go to my website, and there's my website. Okay. Now what happens if I want to get back to my PowerPoint? Well, it's still down here. I can just open this back up and keep on going if I had more slides after that. There is another tutorial that I did want to show you. Make sure that you read everything, the PowerPoint portion. It tells you everything I just told you. Make sure you check your rubric. Don't forget to do your weekly reflection blog. Remember, you have to do those weekly. I will not give you credit if you do them all in one day or at the end of the semester because they're dated and time-stamped when you do them. So please make sure you're doing those every week. I also wanted to point out the tutorial webpage. So if I right-click on it and then open in a new tab, there is a little section for PowerPoint, and this one is for 2007. So if you click on this, you're going to open up a PDF document. Oh, let's see. I'm sorry, a Word document. And this just has the instructions that I just gave you in the video, but this is step by step. If you don't want to refer back to the video, or if you want to go step by step, feel free to print and use this tutorial. If you have any questions or comments about anything, please let me know and I'll be happy to answer your questions. And this is a pretty good week, I think. And let me just make sure I didn't miss anything else. Make sure that you're submitting your URL so I can just go straight to your website and grade from there. And I guess that's it. I will be signing off.